Welcome to the conversation where we talk to professionals in the performing arts and entertainment industry. I am your host, Veronique George. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with stage manager and producer Lisa Lauray. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful now that you are with us. How are
Aw,
you?
I'm doing great. It's so good to see you virtually.
No, it's great seeing you too. It has been too long. I had the opportunity to work with Lisa in 2013 in The Color Purple and again in 2018 on my first play as a playwright, The Counterfeit. Lisa, it is my sincere honor to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being with us today.
It is my honor and pleasure. Anytime you call, I'm there.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, let's get right into it.
Sure.
You worked in productions across the US, including Seattle and Tennessee. How did those experiences prepare you for being the host of now your own show, Kitchen Talk CTC?
Oh my goodness. So I think that everything in life prepares you for the next thing that you're supposed to do. Honestly, I had not planned to be a host of a television show, let alone my own. I'm a background person and was like, okay, I can make this person do that, just, the bossy side of me. But in everything, it gives you just that next level of responsibility. So working in Seattle, doing my grad work, but still working in the field, and then working in Tennessee, every little bit, every little piece just adds to your knowledge base, to your wisdom, to your interpersonal skills, to your communication skills. And it's just so relative to now being able to talk on a talk show and having all of this experience behind you. It makes you not have a dull moment in your conversation. I'm telling you, that's the biggest thing because you have so much to say.
Absolutely. All things work together for good, and they certainly have done that for you so far.
Absolutely.
As a woman and person of color working in this industry, what challenges have you faced and how have you overcome them?
Oh, that's a very good question. So, more so as a woman, um, my biggest challenge was this. I hate to say it like this, but just this kind of male macho attitude from a few people that I've worked with, and comments like, "Oh, you ain't gonna be able to handle her," and it's like, "Why do you have to handle her?" So those kind of little things, or even not being heard, like saying something or giving an idea, and the idea is not really heard, and then having a male counterpart say the same thing, and it's like, oh, that's a great idea. That that is a challenge within itself. And I think the biggest way I have overcome that is communication. I will stop it and pull it out to the side and say, listen, this is how I felt when you did such and such. This is what I thought when you did such and such. I also had a challenge of moving from theater to television. They're two different animals, two different platforms. So I had to learn a lot. So I was on a learning curve. That was a little bit of a challenge because sometimes as a creative, you see or you know what you want to see. And just depending on the media, you may not be able to do it like that. You can't do everything in theater that you could do on television and vice versa.
Yeah.
However, as far as being a person of color, I think my biggest challenge is just with that whole term. I am a Black woman. I am African American. Stop lumping me with everybody. As far as putting just all of us in one boat as people of color, instead of recognizing, who we are as individual people and cultures. And the way that I overcome that is, again, communication. Just address it when it's done.
Absolutely. Great points. And thank you for getting me all the way together very kindly, like you always do. I mean, like I said, I've had the pleasure of working with you on not only the counterfeit, but also on The Color Purple. And communication was such an important role in your role as stage manager for both productions. I
Absolutely.
always getting us together. You were not afraid to communicate and let us know. And I appreciate you because that made the production so much better. Communication, you are absolutely right. And to your point,
Absolutely.
you know, African American women, we need to celebrate each other. And you're absolutely right. Let's call it out. African American woman and a person of color in this industry. So thank you so much for
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Now, during the past 2 years, it has been a very difficult process for all of us. We've endured great loss, trauma, and pain. In a time when creatives could have fallen into the background, they emerged with even greater innovation and a new business approach. How did you make that shift?
Oh my goodness. So, yes, it was very difficult because not only am I creative, I'm a very social person. So, to say that I cannot be in a space with people was devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating. Um, but I also think that creative people, and when I say that, I believe every human being is creative, whether they recognize it or not. But we have something that is within us that even if we're down for a minute, we won't stay down long. Something emerges, we're resilient, and that creativity just kicks in to another notch. And so, no, we were not able to come in, which I am in the Kitchen Talk kitchen right now. We were not able to come into the Kitchen Talk table, but it was like, okay, so what can we do? And so we found another platform, a streaming platform. And so you begin to do that. And it's like, it's so crazy because you're thinking about it anyway. Like pre-pandemic, it was like, okay, how do we step up Kitchen Talk to another notch? And it was like, you know what, we should stream sometime or we should do a live show. And all of a sudden, here we are, pandemic. We can't get together. We can't be together. You know what? Kitchen Talk Live, Kitchen Talk CTC. We live every Thursday, 9 o'clock. We just doing it, and then that is what we did. You know, you just come up with another idea, and most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
your ideas are already on the surface, and sometimes it just takes that extra thing to push you to go ahead and move forward with it. And I think that's what it was for us. It's just that extra thing to say, hey, you know what? Even I know we're talking about Kitchen Talk, but even with my church, we were talking about, you know what? We need to start streaming, and here comes a pandemic, and it's like, you know what? Now y'all have to stop talking about it and be about it.
Yeah, it forced us to be innovative and creative and forced us to get on this digital platform. So I
Absolutely.
wholeheartedly agree with you and appreciate you for telling us that as well. So what's next for you? What else are you working on?
Oh my goodness. So what is next? I have two movies that I am writing, one sitcom and two plays that I'm working on. So that is kind of what I'm doing, and then continuing to do kitchen talk and figuring out what our next thing is. I do know that we will come back in the kitchen at some point, so I'm getting us ready for that and figuring out how we do that plus the live stream because it's been such a pleasure. You know, when you do this work, it's so much fun that you really don't consider it work or
Yes,
professional. It's just like we're doing what we do, you know.
yes.
But yeah, those are the next things, you know, just continuing to write, continuing to work on other ideas and finding other ways to, you know, share good, positive news. That's my ultimate goal is, you know, to be a positive influence and affect media in that way, in a very positive way.
Love it. So now we can add screenwriter and playwright to your belt. That is amazing.
Yeah, so I've written plays, a few plays, uh,
Yay.
and put one up before. Not as professionally. This was, oh my God, maybe 20 years ago. So
Oh,
now that I have a little more knowledge, it's like, oh, okay, now I know what I'm doing.
I love that. Oh my God. So
Absolutely.
amazing. It's coming right back to that same place. I love it.
Absolutely.
Well, you have to keep me posted on that project.
You know I will. You know I will. Definitely.
Awesome. Another playwright. I love it. Makes my heart smile and
I
glad.
know. I know.
All right. And lastly, where can our audience find you on social media?
So if you're looking for me, I am Lisa Lauray on Facebook, the real Lisa Lauray on Twitter. If you're looking for Kitchen Talk, it's Kitchen Talk CTC, and that is on all social media platforms as well as our YouTube channel.
Lisa, it's been a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you for joining us for The Conversation. Stay connected with us on social media. See you next time.